Hallelujah, hallelujah, throw a nickel on the grass, save a fighter pilot's ass. Hallelujah, hallelujah, throw a nickel on the grass and you'll be safe.
During the Vietnam War, the North Vietnamese MiG-21s were winning too many dogfights against our F-4s in the battles over North Vietnam. At that time, all our fighter-to-fighter training was done with like aircraft, F-4s against F-4s, F-100s against F-100s. And the Air Force Fighter Weapons School wanted to have some dissimilar aircraft training because they knew that different kinds of fighters would require different tactics. And they wanted an airplane that was pretty much like the MiG-21 in performance. They determined that the F-106 was most like the MiG-21 in performance. So they asked our squadron to send 4 F-106s and 6 pilots down to fight against the instructors at the Fighter Weapons School. They showed our F-106 pilots a movie of basic fighter tactics using the F-100. Then they sent us out to do battle with the instructor pilots of the Instructor Weapons School. During the first week, the F-4s waxed our ass. But after the first week, we began to learn how to fly the F-106 in fighter tactics, and from then on, the F-106s always came out on top. The Air Force decided it would be a good idea to train F-106 pilots in fighter tactics, and they set up a program to teach us basic fighter tactics. I was one of the first F-106 pilots to become an instructor and teach other F-106 pilots basic fighter tactics. And I'll show you those tactics now. The basic formation of most fighters in the world is the two-ship, called the fighting wing, where the number 2 man, instead of being in close, tight formation like he might be otherwise, he drops back to 400 to 800 feet back in about a 40 to 60 degree cone. He is free to maneuver out here, and the lead can swap around fast and not worry about hitting his number 2 man. So the two-ship is a basic attack strategy. Now, the first thing you have to do is the wingman has to stay with his leader during hard turns. So our first lesson was the hard turn. In this case, this is an actual mission. I told my student that I was going to make a hard left turn, go into afterburner, making a hard left turn, level left turn, coming around on the same heading and the same altitude. And I just wanted him to stay with me. Now this sounds easy. You ought to be able to follow another fighter around a hard turn, but we had all been trained only in radar, and our younger pilots had no experience with heavy maneuvering. So I told my wingman to get ready, that I was going to light my afterburner and do this 360 degree level turn hard, and he was to stay with me. Are you ready? Yes, sir. I popped it in the afterburner and started a really hard turn. Well, not completely hard. I didn't do more than he could do. I just made a hard turn, maybe 3 or 4 Gs, and came around and rolled out on my main heading. I called back. I said, "How are you?" And he says, "Where are you?" He had lost me completely in the turn. he could not follow me through a hard turn. So we had to do that again and again until he could follow me through a hard turn. The next lesson is the defensive turn. In this case, you're flying along, this is you over here, and you suddenly see an enemy plane attacking you from behind. Your immediate action is to start a hard turn in his direction. This is a defensive turn. It is not a brake. A brake is a maximum turn to, say, avoid a missile that's there. A hard turn maintains your energy as you go into afterburner and start. Now he's coming in probably faster than you are and therefore has a larger turning radius. And as you turn into it, he may very well just overshoot you, going and go past you. This is the basic defensive turn. Now that quickly goes into what we call the scissors. And the scissors, he's now overshot you and is probably close to you. Now you roll backwards onto him and he's going on ahead of you. And you cross canopy to canopy as he's trying to turn into you, and you cross again. But now he has more speed than you do, and he's getting out ahead of you. As you cross a second time, now he's ahead of you, you roll back, and he's starting to roll here. Now you're in a scissors, and you are behind him. This is the basic defensive scissors, and you have turned it into an offensive position, and you are right behind him. Now let's reverse the tables, and now you're the attacker here, and you're attacking this defender, and he turns into you in the defensive turn. Are you going to continue trying to turn with him? No, you're going too fast. You're going to overshoot him, and you'll be in a position for the scissors. No, instead of that, you're going to go into the high-speed yo-yo. The high-speed yo-yo, as you're coming in, he turns into you, so you convert your extra energy into altitude. You give a little bit of top rudder, and you roll up and convert your energy into altitude until you're above him. Now you're on the top of the energy maneuverability egg, and you can pull down on him. And this is the high-speed yo-yo. The final maneuver is the barrel roll attack. Now let's set it a little bit differently set up, where you are attacking again, and the enemy sees you and turns into you hard, and you have a little bit too much angle here. You can't pull a high-speed yo-yo because you will overshoot anyway on the high-speed yo-yo. So you do the different thing. Instead of pulling up and rolling with him, you roll in the opposite direction. You pull up here and then roll over and come in on the outside of his turn. You're rolling opposite to his direction of turn. It's very hard to think about it, but it works out well. It's very difficult to do. I've tried it about 4 times and only once did it work. But when you missed it and you rolled, you came up here and you rolled the other way, and you could end up just going outside and you never find him again. You're going this way and he's going that way, and you're completely out of the battle. But if you do it right and he pulls in, you roll up and you roll out and reverse down like this, and you come in behind him right like that. It's beautiful, and the music begins to play.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, throw a nickel on the grass, save a fighter pilot's ass. Hallelujah.